Well, hello there everyone and welcome back to the channel. Adam here today, and I'm going to be reviewing Chaos Child for the PlayStation 4. This game is also available for the PlayStation Vita if you want to play it on the go. A big thanks must go to the people at PQ for translating this game for the Western audience. Without them, this game would have gone unnoticed. Firstly, I want to mention the packaging the game comes in. It comes in a small cardboard box that holds the physical Blu-ray disc of the game, but also holds an art book that has a lot of CGs taken from the game, some other scenes and stuff taken from the game, which is pretty cool. The quality of the printing in the art book is top-notch. It's really, really good. Onto the game itself. Graphics-wise, it's a visual novel style game, so it has 2D drawn backgrounds as well as 2D drawn animated sprites. Their eyes blink, their mouths move as well, which is nice to see. There are some people that like that, and there are some that don't like that. I'm kind of in the middle. If it's done well, I don't mind it, but if it's not, it kind of looks disgusting, to be brutally honest with it. There are also a lot of violent scenes in this game. Again, when we get into the story, this game is a murder mystery game, so there's going to be a lot of violent and bloody and gory scenes. So this is definitely not one for your kids to play. The game runs in 1080p on my PS4 Slim, but this game is also PS4 Pro enhanced, which means it should run in 4K. Now, I don't see an issue with this game running at 60 FPS in 4K. It runs at 60 FPS all the time on my PS4 Slim, so it should have no issue running at 4K at 60 FPS as well. Now, the music in this game fits very well. Depending on what scene you're in, the mood the scene is trying to set, the music will change as you move along as well. And all the songs I've heard so far have been pretty good, so that's a good thumb up from me. The story of this game is a kind of murder mystery with an element of fantasy involved. I haven't played much of the story so far, but I believe I've played enough to give you my thoughts on it. It's time to give you the pros and cons of this game. Pro number 1. This game is good for people who have played the games before it, so Chaos Head and Steins Gate. If you haven't, it doesn't matter, because this game is easy enough to get into that you don't necessarily need to play the games before it to be able to understand it. Which is good for people who are new, who want to come into this franchise and don't know what to expect. So that's good. Pro number 2. It's very interesting from the moment you actually start the game, which is good as it keeps you drawn into the story and you want to see what happens next. I mean, me and my co-host Michael have done 2 live streams of this so far, and we're slowly doing more, but at the same time trying to keep a schedule of other games as well to keep the content coming in at like different things at different times. But we will be doing more of Chaos Child over the coming weeks, so please, there will be more live streams of that available. You can follow me at on Twitch, where I do all my live streaming. My Twitch account will be in the description box below. Pro number 3. The controls for this game are very easy to use and very easy to remember. As it is a visual novel type game, you make choices that will, of course, affect the story, and to do that you need to pick an option. Now luckily, for the most part, there's only 2 options to make, a positive and or a negative. That makes the choices in this game rather simple to make. You know, one trigger on the back of your PlayStation 4 controller for positive, the other trigger for negative. There's an auto mode as well that you can toggle, which makes life a lot easier, especially for me when I'm streaming, so I can just press the button for it to auto mode through at a decent pace so you can read it, and then the next line comes along and so on and so forth. And then when a choice has to be made, I have to do nothing but press another button. It's not so hard. Now then, I'm going to give my cons for this game. I feel this game might be better suited to PC, as most visual novels feel more at home on the PC, as that's where they started. And some people do and don't like visual novels on consoles. I have my own opinions of this. I like some visual novel games on console, especially if I feel like there was never any sort of H scenes or fan service written in. If it's a very serious visual novel with serious undertones and a serious story, I don't see any issue with it. Again, if it's fan servicey, of course, a lot of fan service and H scenes have to be cut from a console release, of course, because consoles get into kids' bedrooms and people's living rooms a lot easier than necessarily PCs do nowadays. So you've got to take that into account when you see a visual novel game on a console. Now, coming to con number 2, I am going to talk about the lack of H content. Now, this can be a 50-50. Fan service in this game is mediocre at best, and the lack of sex scenes might be a turnoff for some of you hardcore visual novel fans. A lot of hardcore visual novel fans say it's not a visual novel unless there's sex scenes or fan service, or at least a certain kind of level of it in there. I kind of agree and I kind of disagree. It depends on the story. It depends on some other factors. For me, the biggest issue is lack of fan service. I feel like that the fan service could have been better from the original developers here. Again, that's my opinion. Third con, sometimes the story feels too slow in places, and then some other times the story feels too fast. The pacing feels a bit off here and there. Sometimes you're having conversations with your friends, just walking down the hallway of your school, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're thrust into a conversation, and you have to make a choice and do this and do that. Its pacing feels a little rushed in places, and then sometimes a little too slow. Again, that's just my opinion. Some people may think differently. And again, if you feel differently, please leave comments down below. Now, again, remember, these are all my opinions. I purchased this game on my own. This game was not sent to me by P-Cube, the Western translator and developer of this game. This is all my opinion. This was not paid for. This does not include any kind of paid promotion. This is all on me. Now, also, a polite reminder, please look up the footage that you see in this video. I have taken these clips from my live stream of Chaos Child that I've done so far. We have both... Oh, I have uploaded both parts of the Chaos Child stream to YouTube. They're not in a playlist. If you go into my videos, they're there. If you want me to make them into a playlist, please let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for joining me this time on my review of Chaos Child on the PlayStation 4. Please remember to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if it didn't. Give us a subscribe if you're new. Sayonara.